Hello and welcome back to Hoi 4, Equestria War. But this time, the Griffon Frontier. This is going to be a very short series. You'll realize why that is soon enough. If Nova Griffonia was considered a backwater within the Griffonian Empire, one can only imagine what most civilized folk back home thought of the frontier. The countryside is infested with bandits, cannibals, and other assorted lunatics, and what few towns there are survive mostly by providing food and goods for various bands of criminals. To make it far worse, the politicians and officials are corrupt and useless. After the empire collapsed and broke apart, Nova Griffonia declared its formal independence and established the frontier as its own domain. This change of overlordship has only led to further neglect, however, and the already struggling frontier is now on the brink of collapse, with political turmoil already brewing inside its society. It is now almost time for the frontier officials to move to Nova Griffonia and formally plead for funding. Until now, their pleas have been for nothing every time, and the frontier was forced to fight for themselves. A different result would be incredibly surprising, though that is unlikely to occur, and one can only imagine what will happen in the frontier should they not get any actual funds. The Griffon Frontier is unstable and weak, and in dire need of change. Whether it be with or without Nova Griffonia, something needs to happen, and it will happen soon. That makes sense to me. We need things to change, yeah. We got a gun. We got our army, things are pretty good, right? We don't need an army. Obviously. Why would we want that? Look, no one wants armies. No. No one cares to have armies. Who develops armies in this day and age? Let's see. We don't have any. What? I'm shocked and horrified that you did not get us. Come on. We deserve our own guide to the place of the world. The frontier of Frosthill is a very beautiful land. How dare you? But right now we are going to grovel for funds. It's that time of year again, and the time of year we beg the bigwigs in Wetter for more funding to improve our dismal state. Who knows, maybe this time we'll get lucky and actually get some money. Maybe. But since this is a long focus and there's nothing to actually read for now, I'm just gonna, end here. I'll cut back to you guys when we finish this focus and we see the event. Alright, now that focus is done, we'll just have to wait and see the response. Oh my goodness, a miracle! Through a miracle, we managed to get funding from Wetter. A surprise, but a welcome one. Oh my goodness, they've decided to give us assistance. The Griffonian funding. Now that we actually have money, we should look into ways on how to improve our situation. Yes, Governor Muck, we've done it. We've added funding. Oh my, Muck, you've done it. I'm so proud of you. We could deal with Jill's raiders, the worst of the worst when it comes to the bandit population. We could deal with people like that. We could deal with the cannibal clans. There's no shortage of cannibal clans in the mountains of joy, but we could deal with them. We could deal with Redtail's rebels. The last remnants of Henrik's Redtail's attempted revolution in Nova Griffonia. These poor sods still wage war against Griffonian authorities from their mountain strongholds. But that doesn't matter, because we can deal with them now. We can fight them off. With the Griffonian assistance, we actually managed to convince Griffonia to give us funds. It's a miracle. We can build roads. We need to connect the frontier, scattered townships with roads if we intend to control it. Good for you, Wing Barty. You seem to still be fighting, but I see what you mean. You've defeated the Civil War. You just still have an enemy to fight. But sure. Things are going interesting over there. I don't know why I clicked way down there. Thank you, Nova Griffonia. Thank you. You are a hero to our people. You have done a great deed to us that will never be forgotten. Never. I promise you that. The Grand Galloping Gala. Wow. Oh, I think if we are going to work with this nation, help use their support, and defeat all these horrible things, and eventually, potentially even apply to join them, we should probably know a little more about them, right? Yeah, we should. So let's learn about them. The home of the brave. Before Nova Griffonia and before Wetter, Nova Aquilia was established at the mouth of the Delue River. In the beginning, it was little more than a camp for rill fisher griffs and whalers on their journey, longing for a safe place of rest after weeks at sea. They deserve a perfect spot like that. Over time, trade with the local ponies and yaks meant that more and more Aquilian griffs stayed there permanently, creating a small, sprawling town outside of official Aquilian control. When Aquilia fell to Griffonian Empire, it was a great boon and a great trial for Aquilia. Thousands of Aquilian refugees, many of them wealthy merchants and nobles, made their way to the town and carried their wealth with them, more than doubling the population, increasing the town's wealth many times over. At the same time, they had time to develop its own political system of elected mayors and a town council. What an amazing mayor, what a beautiful town council they have at that. Just an amazing system that truly does the perfect things. A system that clashed with the royalist leanings of many of the newcomers. In the end, it was the arrival of Griffonian Empire's fleet and the demand for subjugation under the new colony of Nova Griffonia that stopped things from exploding into outright fighting. As Griffonian settlers began to arrive in the town as well, the Aquilian refugees chose to keep it to themselves, creating what could become known as the Aquilian Quarter, a district of the city that even to this day has a clear Aquilian feel to it, in everything from the cuisine to the architecture and even the language. In some ways, this region has kept hold of old cultural artifacts from the Old Kingdom more than even Aquilia has. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Also, ever since inclusion into Nova Griffonia, the city has considered itself the actual heart of Nova Griffonia. Whoa! First, what's happening? Longport. Truth be told, the frontiers never lacked in danger. However, it takes a special kind of person to wake up one day and decide to eat their fellow citizen. And while many places would have to deal with the cannibals every once in a while, we have to deal with it on an almost daily basis. While many of our citizens have accepted this fact, at this point, needless to say, it doesn't exactly help reflect with our government. Yes, but with the support and generosity of Nova Griffonia, we are going to be able to deal with that. And we are going to prosper with them. Viewing Wetter as a colonist. Also, ever since inclusion in Nova Griffonia, the city has considered itself the actual heart of Nova Griffonia, viewing Wetter as a colonialist overlord, not truly part of the colony. The Griffins have always been eager to settle the deeper regions of the colony, explore new opportunities, serve in the Nova Griffonian militias, and however they can leave a mark on their homeland. Whatever may the Griffonian chapter, but these descendants of those Aquilian refugees and fishers have worked tirelessly to create their own niches. Whatever remains true to the old homeland. They embrace the Nova Griffonian way of life. Wetter is a hub of architecture and industry. They make a niche for themselves in a hub of agriculture and industry, in steelworks and lodging. Wetter builds a university, and they will erect a grand theater. One can call them proud, stubborn, or spiteful. But no Griff can call them lazy, cowardly, or sedate. Well, let's look back at those manufactories. We should open up some manufactories in Frost Hill. Help us improve the nation. More industry equals a stronger nation. That's because of you, Nova Griffonia. You helped us do that. And now we're gonna import rifles from them. Our arms industry is lacking. That's to say it really doesn't exist. To temporarily fix this issue, we should import some rifles from across the border. And I know they will support us, because that's the type of people they are. Hey, Sombra, I don't care. But you know why I don't care? Because I have Nova Griffonia here to protect me. All we've managed to buy with our meager funds are some old-style gunning rifles from a rather dubious source. It's not much, but it is something. See, they always support us. They're always there for us. Even when we don't have the money to actually give them anything in return. Our police force is, to put it lightly, ridiculously corrupt. They constantly ignore bandit raids and kidnappings, accept bribes from literally everyone, and their mother, which is the most horrendous part. And as such, are more or less useless. We should hire some external help. Yes, that makes sense. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Now we of course must look at Wetter, their capital as well. The Griffonheim of the West, originally built on the site of an ancient migration-era pony site. Wetter was the first settlement the Griffonian Empire founded on Equestria, and its city charter came directly from Emperor Grover I. While initially little more than a military outpost meant to control the strait to the north, it rapidly grew from the various explorers and ambitious settlers who saw Nova Griffonia as a place to build a new life beyond the confines of the empire. Wetter became one of the main ports of entry in the region, leading to a population explosion during the late 800s and early 900s that took Wetter from a small frontier town to an actual city. Became considered the gateway to the West, and hundreds of thousands have entered Equestria through the Wetter harbor, hoping for a new life in Nova Griffonia. While Nova Griffonia is an immense region, most of its remains frontier regions. Wetter, nearly uniquely, is more like Griffonia than the rest of the nation, with tightly packed old-style buildings near the city center, and an opulent gubernatorial palace overlooking a city plaza in which a statue of Grover I stands. Further out, however, the Griffonian veneer fades quickly, and already at the outskirts of the city one can see the more uniquely Nova Griffonian identity spring forth. This has always been Wetter's role in these lands, though, to stand as the link between Nova Griffonia and the old homeland, enforce imperial order and ensure that this rugged and harsh land, far from Griffonheim, remains a testament to the Griffonian Empire's drive and ambition. I'm assuming we don't have any cool... we do have a local musician. A local musician who's also a smooth talker and charmer. They're not... they're only able to be gotten if Vigil takes over, though, which we'd never let him and his bandits take over. They're next now that we've finished off those evil cannibal clans. The first obstacle to actually fixing the frontier is the cannibal clans up north. The fact that the cannibals started forming clans in the first place really speaks volumes of the frontier's administration, but nevertheless, we have to get rid of them. And now, we can. Got any? No? No cool secret. You guys got any secret hidden lore? Any of you? Aha, you're promoted to the rank of general. You're a sexual field courier leading the Randall's Hunters. The 4 deputies. Though you're also in the Randall's Hunters, you're also with the 4 deputies. You're also with Randall's Hunters. So it seems like we have 2. Seems like we have 2 groups. The town arsenals. The state shall provide the township with equipment, so that they may defend themselves and assist in hunting down the bandits that still infest the country. Of course, we need to do the usual, because, we might as well give our homeland the most valuable of resources after we fully come back to them as a full part of their nation, as they deserve only the best, only the absolute best, and nothing less, not a single bit less. Now next, we must open up. We have been stuck on an export focus for too long. What a horrible thing we've done, not giving full interest to our Nova Griffonian brothers. We must move on to a full free trade policy, giving all that we can to our brothers. We don't need anything. We don't need to be able to build up our factories or anything like that, because all that truly matters is Nova Griffonia having all they could possibly need. That's truly all that matters. That's why we're gonna find some more iron in the mines. We're gonna open steel mines, because they will be able to use them after this is all over. With the northern mountains having been cleared of most of the cannibals infesting, if we can finally extract the riches that lie beneath them and give them all to Nova Griffonia, and that is truly what matters. Now all we have left, we've dealt with the cannibals. We're gonna open up some steel mines, but we can't join the nation, our motherland. We can't join them on the state we're in. We have raiders running around our nation, being a nuisance. We have rebels, these communist rebels, a group that isn't even supported anymore. I mean, they are basically gone in the homeland. I personally see no signs of them existing in the homeland. So, we must get rid of these two groups immediately. I see. You've jumped in. Cool. Good luck. Happy murdering. Now, the comms are much more important threat, as our motherland has none of those. But these Virgilian raiders are only our problem. And if we are to join, just in case we were forced to join early, we can't bring something that doesn't exist at all there, when we could bring something that doesn't exist at all there, obviously. So Heinrich Redtail and his band of commies, I hurt my voice there. That was funny. Anyways, okay, I'm just gonna read it after I start the next one, because I used up the entire time. We got a vent! Heinrich Redtail and his band of communists have been a nuisance for both Frosthill and Winter alike. None that we have means to enforce the law, posting bounties on the heads of these so-called revolutionaries should take care of them. Redtail's final stand. Life has been changing slowly but drastically in the frontier ever since we've received funding from Winter. A semblance of law and order has been restored to our towns and villages, although it's been carried out by hired griffins instead of the incompetent police force. Nevertheless, groups determined to throw the frontier to anarchy have continued operating until today. One of them was wiped out. See, that's why I got rid of our military. They were useless. Instead, we hired people, foreign people, that are actually useful. All of them from Nova Griffonia, of course. Our Lord and Savior. Several groups of bounty hunters, driven by the thrill of the hunt and the promise of payment, have banded together to capture the infamous communist revolutionary Redtail. After several attacks on mounted strongholds known to be aligned with him, he was finally cornered. A week-long siege ensued, and although the communists fought with great desperation, they couldn't prevent the capture of their leader. Bound and gagged, feathers plucked, Redtail was dragged down to the authorities where he waits his fate. Meanwhile, stores and taverns have been reportedly greatly increased income. Woo! Woo! Increased income! Increased income! You know why that's so good? Why increased income matters so much? It's because the Griffonian Empire matters so that they'll get all our support after we stop existing. Hunt down Virgil. The bandit simply known as Virgil has been a pain in our collective flanks since before the fall of the Empire. If we intend to scatter the bandits, he must be found and disposed of like the animal he is. We also must hire more generals. Why? Because all these generals will be loyal followers in Nova Griffonia after we join them. And they deserve as many loyal people as they can have. Virgil's End. We've been hunting Virgil for weeks now. He's a slippery one, I'll give him that. We've many helpers and hideouts, but his time is at an end. We've spent a few days sitting in seedy taverns until we cornered one of his close subordinates. It took some persuasive methods to get him to squeal. We got our info, and he kept his miserable life. Seems like it would be easy, a secluded canyon perched between mountainsides. Only one way out. My griffins had the skies covered for any surprises. Our guns were loaded and ready. It takes a cruel reminder to never relax on this job, however. I took 2 of my best colleagues with me to confront the bandit leader. As we approached the canyon valley where we knew Virgil was hiding, 2 gunshots were heard. I could almost see the bullets whizzing past me as they hit the poor sods in the wings, immediately causing to fall over in pain, crippled. Cursing that son of a harlot, I immediately took flight and closed the distance, smug bastard, standing with his revolver held high. I noticed an unmarked tombstone behind him, but I didn't care. Now it was personal. There were no words exchanged between us. Quickly taking my reliable pistol with firm claw grip, I intended to cut him down quickly. If it wasn't for his unnatural agility, it was almost like a dance. Dodging my shots, even worse. His aim was far better than mine. The feelings of bullets brushing close to my body really hurt. Gritting my teeth, I raised my gun and took a desperate shot. To my surprise, it found the mark of his neck. He almost looked surprised, dropping his revolver and slipping over in a heap. After I covered my wounds, I went back to check on my griffins, while our airborne scouts took notice of the events transpiring. We've done it. Governor Muck's bounty better be worth all this trouble. Justice has been served. Uh-huh. Huh? You went socialist? You just directly annexed that part, but made that into an independent thing. That looks ugly. And you would supremacist anyways. Okay, cool. Well, now for our final time, we should have more men in the army for when we join them, as they need as many people as possible in their army from our lands. We should be completely ready to give up as many people as possible to support them, no matter what. In fact, why is this at 2.5%? Why wouldn't it be at like 100%? Yeah. Turn it. But yes, we must begin our application for statehood. With our situation more or less stabilized, we can formally apply to become a Griffonian province. And once that happens, all will be good. All will be saved. Because being part of their beautiful nation is all that matters. It truly is. What more would our nation ever want? Governor Muck, that's all he's ever wanted. Truly. Why are you like... You guys are in a complete stalemate. Like... I mean, honestly, this is the best I've seen the Crystal Empire do without Equestria on their side. Like... The fact that they're holding out is way better than I've literally ever seen them do in my entire time playing this game. They pretty much always get obliterated. Also, Snow Austerity Law is hilarious. He's an evil genius. And he does evil dances. No. Sometimes when you're an evil genius, you just gotta do some evil dances. We're coming home. See, just like our town. We're the our town of Nova Grifonia. They realized they need to return home to Stalingrad. Just like we've realized we need to return home to Nova Grifonia. And we have no worries. Even if Stalingrad became hostile, even if they attacked them, Nova Grifonia can protect us from anything. They gave us support. They gave us funding. They are there for us no matter what. So there's nothing, truly nothing to worry about. I think everything, truly anything and everything is going to be okay. The moment they accept our application for statehood and we join the nation, making it a truly perfect unity between our frontier and the Nova Griffonian heartland. And nothing will ever be better. Apply for statehood. After all the turmoil and hardships, we've finally managed to more or less fix our situation. And as such, we should make a formal request to officially join Nova Grifonia as a proper province. Now we just have to convince T-Feather. It's about to happen. And there it is. We've done it. We've joined them. What a beautiful thing we have done. We have joined together in our perfect union. And together we will forever be unstoppable. And that's the end of this series, the one-part series. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And as always, peace.